Okay, looks like we're off. Well, get the stream synced up now that they're both started. So I can see what and have it go. So you're gonna see no divergence in this first part because it's this first Cap Kingdom and Cascade are pretty much set in stone at this point. It's just, and also because they also kind of the game railroads you a bit into a certain path for a lot of for this beginning part of the game. Yep, there's Jelledot finishing Topper off, and as NotSoNewby's about to get the last hit. Bit of a mess up there by Jelledot. That can cost him a bit of a time loss there. Not just from getting hit and like taking all that time to get the moon, but also 2 extra seconds from healing after getting the moon. There's a small cutscene along with healing after getting a moon that pauses you and causes a bit of time delay. Okay, so now we're going to go into what's known as the T-Rex skip. They're going to capture a T-Rex after some movement of getting onto a tall mountain, and then they're going to jump on a trampoline that is typically used by Mario in his normal form. But if you use it as a T-Rex, you jump up really high as a T-Rex, and then you're able to jump out of him and dive into the cutscene trigger for the boss fight in this game. In this kingdom. It's a very fast method I'm seeing Jelledot doing there. I did not know of being able to do that, of holding the cap out so that you can hit him as soon as you jump on top of him. I did know about jumping on top of him during the spin cycle that Newbie just had, but I did not realize you could hit him right after you jump on him. That's a nice tactic to make it go quicker. And now we'll need 5 moons to move on from this kingdom, so we're just going to grab 1 more moon, and then we're going to activate the Odyssey and get out of here. Okay, so now moving on to the Sand Kingdom, I'm very interested in to see what routes they take here. Sand Kingdom has gone through so many iterations as the route has been optimized, and it's still not finished being optimized. But Sand is very close to optimized, considering how many iterations it's gone through. So we'll see which routes they take, how old their route that they take is, and it'll be interesting to me, and maybe to you guys as well. Good job getting the bird there. Newbie's gonna miss the bird here, so he's probably gonna go into Rumble and then reset that bird, or he does have other backups. It's really depending on his preference and what he's comfortable with doing. And Jelledot's is skipping employees only, so that seems like a bit of a newer route. One of the newer routes. And here we see Newbie going for employees only. Oh, Jelledot missing the on top of the arch moon. Just going to cost them some time because the setup for this is a bit harder. Oh, this is definitely going to give Newbie some time to catch up. It's also going to... I would go by the moon count right now because of their separate routes, and then because Newbie will have 1 more moon than Jelledot once he gets to that archway. I believe. Am I stupid? Oh, he's missed the bird. Okay, so he didn't get the bird. So actually, yeah, they have the same amount of moons right now. Or their route is giving them the same amount of moons right now. Slightly confusing stuff. Okay. Okay, so here's Jelledot getting the on top of the pillar one, which is what we use to replace employees only. And then going to forget the name of this one. I think it's inside luggage or something like that. Not really important. See if Jelledot goes for the Sphinx Clip. He does not. I'm disappointed yet again. No, I have not seen a single runner go for Sphinx Clip, which is entirely understandable, but I want it. Oh, for a second, Jelledot used an interesting setup for Jaxie skip there. I wasn't aware of using that location of the wall to get up there. Usually I use an area a bit slightly to the right, which gives you a bit more height and a bit more leeway. So that was an interesting way of getting up there as well. Wandering Cactus. And they're about at the same pace right now. Somehow Newby's missing this moon. Yeah, Newby's got to get 3 moons at the Oasis, but while Jelledot's got 1. But it's still really close despite that. The timing for this bird is really tight, so hopefully you can get that. You pretty much only get that 1 chance and then you're done. So moving on from Sand Kingdom, we're going to Lake Kingdom, which is a very short kingdom. It's just going to be getting 10 moons and then being out of here. Ending with us fighting Rango, which is a fairly simple boss once you understand the quick kill. And immediately capturing a Cheep Cheep because it is the fastest movement in the water. Jelledot just barely getting the movement to get on top of that platform. It's a very difficult movement to get because of the way the camera's moving during that moment. So now we're ending with fighting Rango. Oh, my mistake. We need 8 moons to move on, not 10. I'm dumb sometimes. Anyway. So yeah, so we're now moving on from Lake Kingdom. Very short kingdom. Maybe gets that trick as well. Good job. Oh, that's not okay. So Rango can be a bit dangerous if you mess up the quick kill. So now Newby has to be pretty careful here. Oh, he's just messing up the placement. Oh, this is. Come on, Newby. I believe in you. He's just doing it slowly. He's just waiting it out, being careful. Which I don't blame him for at this point. Okay. So now onto Wooded Kingdom. This kingdom is pretty much the same for every route at this point. Like, it has not changed much lately. So, more than likely, you're going to see Jelledot and NotSoNewby doing the same route here. And Jelledot buying the first of 2 moons that we buy. Thankfully, because we get the Sphinx now, it is not that difficult to have enough money to buy 2 moons, which is what this route asks of you. Yep. Okay, so Jelledot went to the sewers first. This is the only part that really is changed between different players, is whether or not they go to the sewer before getting a checkpoint or after. And also how you do the sewer in itself. Thankfully, he was able to get that water cycle, despite dodging everything, as much as he could. Wall's not cooperating with Jelledot there. That was odd. You could see how well NotSoNewby does with the sewers. It can be very difficult because one of the few times we have to deal with fuzzies, and no one likes fuzzies. That was a pretty effective run of that sewer. That definitely gained some time for him there. And he just lost a lot of that time with that bonk, which is unfortunate. Oh, the bonks. Come on, newbie. Believe in you. You're a friend of mine from the Shovel Knight community. I believe in you. Okay, Jelledot getting the 2 moons inside the tower here. And now we're gonna go fight Spewart. I forgot the name because I don't like the name. I don't want to remember it, but it's Spewart. Okay, so there's the end of Spewart. He was not long for this world. That was a weird camera angle. I don't know what it was doing on Newbie's screen there. So that trick is not the easiest to do, so it looks like Newbie's just gonna go around that trick. Just lose a little bit of time. So now we're gonna get teased about going to Metro, but we're not going to Metro. We're going to fight Bowser. No, thanks for the approval, mods. I really like that you gave me a thumbs up there. That was nice. Okay, just joking around. Okay, so yeah, getting the first phase done with this Bowser. Oh, getting some really good placement. So if the hat's put in the center like that, it allows for you to not have to care. It allows it to be a lot easier to get that hat, so that you can use it for this phase. So basically they are skipping the Jelledot is skipping the jumping phase, jumping part of the attack by getting close enough to Bowser so that you can punch him before he jumps away. But not too close, because if you end up too close, he actually just grabs the hat and puts it back on. And you have to go through another whole hat throwing phase, hat throwing attack, which is not fun. So yeah, that's Bowser beaten. And now moving on to Lost Kingdom. So we're going to have a very difficult trick here at the beginning. Let's see how Jelledot deals with it. Okay. Oh, wow. That was a very nice way of doing that triple jump. So you can carry over a triple jump from a cap bounce. So that can count, jumping off of your cap can count as the first jump into a triple jump. So he did that very nicely in that he used the cap jump to count as the first jump, and then the second jump on the tree and the third jump. So that was very nicely done. So the reason why we're going all around here, as we've seen Newbie fighting Bowser in a similar way, I kind of want to just talk about why Jelledot's taken this weird route around Lost Kingdom before, then just randomly triggering Klepto over here. So that bird will take your hat if he sees you. So we just go around him. So that's why we did that weird triple jump off to the other side of the island, because we needed to completely out of his eye line and then trigger him by getting to the platform where he would do stuff to us. Oh. That was weird. Okay, so this is gonna... That buys some more time. Okay, and he has to get that... He has to take damage to get that one. So that exploding cap stealer guy, I don't know his name, gave some trouble there. I'm glad people are enjoying the game. It's a fun game. Okay, so Jelledot's going to go for this trick here. Let's see if he can get this moon. Good job. Okay, and now he's going to take the die and death and warp to Odyssey. And let's see how Newbie... Okay, so Newbie's not going for the triple jump on the tree. He's going for a much easier method, which involves just doing a bunch of ground pound jumps to get up top. And he's gonna get a couple more a couple different moons just because he got to the top of the platform in a different way. So that is a slower way of doing this, but it is certainly easier because you don't have to deal with doing that triple jump. So now moving on to Metro, finally. It's a fun kingdom with a lot of fun movement at the start. Very difficult movement as well. But it's still fun, because doing difficult moves and pulling them off properly is probably the best part of this game, in my opinion. Okay, so good job there with that movement, getting to girder sandwich. And now getting back on top of the building so that you can do a long jump over across these two buildings. So good job there. Okay, so now moving up the interior of Town Hall. Let's see if he goes for this trick. Yep, he does. So, yeah, going up there without using the pipes. Or poles, I guess. Not the easiest trick. And then this long jump can cause some trouble to some newer players. So, good job getting it there. And now we'll be moving on to the Mecha Wiggler fight. As NotSoNewby is ending his Lost Kingdom. So if Jelledot does not get the 2-cycle here, that'll definitely give Newbie time to catch up. So like I said, anything can happen in a race. Like they're just little things that can cause the leader to lose enough time for the person who's behind to catch up. Okay, let's see if Jelledot can get this 2-cycle. Oh, Newbie bonks going up this building. This is not the easiest building to get up. Jelledot made it seem really easy, but it's not at all. Okay. A very nice 2-cycle by Jelledot. Okay. Okay, so doing that the slightly slower way of by getting on top of the building first before going to the girder sandwich, and now he's going to jump back on top of the building again. So that's an interesting way of doing that. It's definitely a safer strategy. Because you can die in that area if you're not careful. Okay, Jelledot doing this trick, which is very fun to do. Yep, well done. So the homing cap will capture the pylon, the spark pylon there. And let's see how quickly he's able to do this. Okay, so that was actually a pretty fast RC car, Moon. NotSoNewby yet again, just taking the safe routes. Just fine, as in... Oh, and still... Well, he can catch himself down here. But he dived a bit too far. So couldn't catch himself. It was mostly a safe route until he died. Things happen. Okay. Okay, hopefully Newbie can also get a 2-cycle. I'm not sure how much he knows about this boss, if he's able to do a 2-cycle or not. So we'll see what happens. So unfortunately we can't hear our favorite words right now. But eventually we will hear them when Newbie catches up. So I believe that was a 2-cycle from Newbie, so good job there. I actually averted my attention to chat for a second, so excuse me for not watching for a second there. Yay! I'll do the yay. I won't do the other part, because only he can do that. Bench friend's giving him some trouble. Not sitting on the bench. Come on. There we go. Gotta sit on that bench. Let's be real bench friends. Now we're moving on to, I believe it's gonna be snow. Yeah. So sometimes you take Seaside first if you don't have enough coins, but we definitely have enough coins because we got the Sphinx, so we're fine. Sphinx back in sand, excuse me. Newby doing a couple fancy things to get to the top of his pole. Spire. And taking the safer approach to getting this moon. It's a lot easier to aim a long jump than it is to aim a dive. So if you are not as confident on that, you use the long jump instead. And buying our second moon in the route on Jelledot's screen. Gets the moon underneath the snow first try. Well done. It's easy to tell where it is if you reveal it with the snow. If you take away all the snow and reveal it. But with all the snow in the way, it gets pretty difficult to find it out. Oh, Jelledot diving into the poison there. I'll be quiet for these guys. It's very important that we hear this audio. The chat wants it, so I let it happen. Know your audience, people. It's very important. Okay, I think is chat ready with the emotes? I'm sure they are. I haven't checked, but I'm sure they're ready. Okay, so, and the Typhoon room was eventually dealt with for Jelledot there. It was very important to be quiet. I had to be. Okay, and now moving on to the Goomba room in Snow Kingdom. Oh, it just barely gets that jump. Okay. I was getting nervous for a second that he wasn't going to get that jump. So Jelledot finishing up the Snow Kingdom now. As Newbie just gets his Captain Toad. And now going into town. Okay, now moving on to Seaside Kingdom. This kingdom has a lot more fun movement to deal with. That could be in your way. You can potentially not get this jump because it does take about a bunch of height to get up that high. And now moving on to the slightly easier moons. Oh, Jelledot having trouble getting this moon. This moon actually, you're supposed to get with a cushion, and there's a way to get in up here without the cushion, and then grab that moon also without the cushion. So screw it completely. We don't need you. And now see how effectively he can run and get these notes. These notes never give me trouble, but people seem to have trouble with them sometimes. Do some cheap bonks. Definitely give Newbie some catch-up time there. This is definitely not the furthest apart race that we've had. These are two racers that are actually still relatively close together compared to the other races that we've had in this tournament so far. There have been some really close races that you should definitely try to find the VODs for on these channels, on the speed gaming channels. They are very good to watch, and they're definitely exciting. And I'm very excited for what this tournament has to offer in the future right now. And now moving on to Luncheon Kingdom, which is definitely one of the hardest kingdoms in this route. This is based on what we got to do, and there's a lot of lava in the way, and it's an annoying kingdom to do. So this could definitely allow Newbie to gain some ground depending on how good or bad Jelledot does on the stage. Oh, okay, so bonk there, so yeah. Getting this jump is not the easiest thing. Okay, get to the second try. Yeah, he falls into the lava there. I think he just forgot how long that roll was going to last. Newby doing an older Odyssey side. Which is okay, that won't make him lose too much time. Oh, and okay, that will make him lose a bit of time. And Jelledot taking the risk of doing that without the camera on Mario there is definitely a harder trick to do. And now to get on top of these rocks. And stay on top of them as well. Oh, nearly fell off. These rocks, they do not want you to stay on them. And getting that box with a homing throw. And then we're going to get the turnip. Casually, you navigate this kingdom mostly as a lava bubble or potable. Why don't you just play the game and find out? It's a very good game. You should try it. Ooh, okay. So this moon is another difficult one to get. Okay, just barely getting up there. You're not really supposed to get on top of these mountains casually. They pretty much just borders. Although there are a couple moons that exist on these mountains, so eventually you will walk on these mountains, but it's not safe. What did I say that was rude? I'm sorry. It just meant that you should play this game. It's really good. It's a really good game. Okay. Anyway, so going on to the... Oh, bonking into the door entrance, going into... And now we're going into the Potabu room. This room has a lot of places where you can die, so this is going to be very interesting to see how he does. I never intend to be rude here. So if I do, I'm sorry. Anyway. Newby's definitely got some time to catch up with how difficult this kingdom is. I don't know how much ground he's made up. Oh wow, that was really good movement. So most people will just jump out of the Potabu and then do a dive over to the lava, get damage boosted onto the platform. So that was a very interesting way of doing that. That was just some really good movement. I don't know what else to say about it. Thank you, Foxhound. Thank you, Sly. It's good to have some people who are supporting me. Anyway, now we get to be a slab of meat, everyone's dream, and get the multi-moons to close out luncheon. Okay, so now moving on to my favorite part of the game. Not in terms of play, because this boss fight's actually relatively easy. That was a really good throw into the turnip soup there. This boss fight's relatively easy, but it's just such a contrast from the rest of the game that I love it so much. So we're gonna go fight a dragon. I'm not talking to Hooktail. Hooktail's a cool dragon as well, but this is a better dragon than Hooktail, at least aesthetically. We got a legit dragon, the Lord of Lightning. So, I wish he had a real, like a full name as well, like Hooktail, but he does not. As far as I know, he's just called the Lord of Lightning, which is still a very badass name. And I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but you can't not curse for this dragon. He's a bamf. Okay. Moving on. Newby's gonna do the fork room here. These forks aren't cooperating with Newby. So as Jelledot is finishing up this slideshow of a boss fight. That was the second hit. He's got one more hit to do. Ooh, it looks like, yeah, Newby's gonna take a death there. So didn't quite make the jump. Okay. Okay, makes it the second try. And now this Goomba that always gets in your way. Okay, moving on from Ruined Kingdom to Bowser's Kingdom. And this kingdom can also have some weird routes going on. It's an interesting moon to take instead. Huh. Maybe he doesn't trust himself with one of the other 2 moons that we get. So along with the moons that are required throughout this route to actually beat this kingdom and unlock the next one, you need to get 2 more moons as well. So it actually does not say in the top left corner, because story-wise, you do not know that you have to go to the moon from here. But you have to go to the moon from here. So you need 2 more moons outside of the story moons that you can collect. And typically, we do not get that moon, as Newby becomes a slab of meat. It's very important. So yeah, defeating this ogre. Giving him a bit of trouble there. That boss fight, very difficult. Camera angle giving some Jelledot some problems here. As he uses the non-Pokia way of getting to those moon shards, which is slightly faster, but he still messed up a bit. So it's debatable which route would have been faster to get those. So yeah, odd. Okay, so you replace the rooftop one, which you would be getting after these 2 moons. Normally, it's on top of this roof. On top of this roof that's on the doorway here up ahead, and that's the moon you would typically get. So he replaced that moon with the one behind the Odyssey. Interesting choice. I guess he's just not confident enough with this jump to do it. No, Oro Jeff, we cannot fly forever. We can do 1 cap dive, as it's called, where you dive into your thrown cap and then you'll do a jump. But if you do it again, you will not jump off of your cap. So it is only limited to 1 cap jump. You can chain them if you do a grounded cap jump. That does not count as an air cap jump. So you can get some extra distance if you do it properly in certain ways. So there are ways to get a lot of distance, but not quite. I will be streaming. I don't want to promote myself on this, so I'd rather not say. But yes, I will be. Okay. Anyway, Harriet here. I just finished Harriet, one of the easier bosses of the Brutals. Oh, I'm missing Topper. So not quite finding out where Topper is during this. This is certainly one of the harder brutal fights. I could personally consider it one of the hardest one. Aside from counting the ones post game. So Newbie just finished up the dragon, Lord of Lightning. Okay, so now another difficult jump, triple jump, into cap bounce, into wall jump, into dive. So, another fun one to do. Like I said, all complex movement is just fun in this game. It's difficult, but it's purely fun. And so Newbie's starting out his Bowser's Kingdom run, as we got some Pokyo movement for Jelledot. Okay, so now we're going on to Jelledot doing the Mecha Brutal, and it looks like he's kind of doing attempting to do a birdless. The setup to get into birdless was actually kind of slow, so that did cost him some time there. Getting knocked back twice, and now he's just going to go into this as he now is just waiting for these Brutals to be vulnerable so that he can ground pound them. Hopefully Newbie can catch up during all this, so we can have a more interesting race. Hopefully I'm entertaining you guys. Anyway. So yeah, we gotta wait for that running cycle to run out, because even though it just has his legs with the invincibility, his entire body's actually, the entire Mecha Brutal is also invincible. So you gotta wait until he starts flashing again, and then you can ground pound him. And these ground pounds are actually not the easiest to get either, because the Brill will move out from underneath you, and it just becomes a giant hassle. So that was a good fight, overall. Generally, you can tell he's vulnerable based on if the Mecha Brutal is flashing or not. That is a moment where you can do it. Otherwise, I think it's actually pretty much the whole time, except for the one sequence where he's running, where the Mecha Brutal is running back and forth in the arena. Because at that point, his legs are doing the animation of invincibility, like you would like if you had an invincibility star in other games. But you just can't see it up above because you're not looking at his legs. So that's the moon that I was talking about before on the rooftop that he did not get, that Jelledot did not get earlier. Ooh, hitting the fire. That's kind of annoying. So Jelledot now in the final sequences of this game. All he has left is to be on the moon, do the moon cave skip, and boss fight, and then escape sequence. So we're home free at this point. Not really, because moon cave skip is really difficult. But it's just we're in the home stretch, people. Okay. As Newbie finishes the first boss of Harriet and Topper. It doesn't matter whether you do Topper first or Harriet first in this fight, in these fights. It's really up to preference. Oof. Okay, so that's not the best idea. Obviously, we don't want to die in this scenario, but it saves which bosses you beat and which bosses you haven't defeated in this sequence, so it's good. Okay, taking two speed flower things here to get across. They do not increase your speed, only increase your distance if you have more than one on your head. And now we're going into Moon Cave Skip. And wow, he gets it on his first try. That's very impressive. Okay. So now we're gonna move into the wedding. And now you see what I was talking about with Topper. That Topper fight is definitely very difficult. It is difficult to do the quick kill in general for that. And now moving on to the final Bowser fight. Similar to the first Bowser fight that you had with him on Cloud Kingdom. Only differences here is that he will block your punches a lot more, so that you have to jump over his tail that he flings around. And in between phases, which you'll see in a second, he will be blowing fire, and you have to jump over it. If you do not jump over that fire, it will hurt you. And it's kind of interesting timing, so gotta be careful. See if Newbie can get this jump. This is not the easiest jump, as seen as he just messed it up. Okay. Gets a good backup there. Okay, Jelledot now just getting the second hit on Bowser. Moving on to the final hit. And yes, Jelledot is definitely on PB pace at this point. He has I'll double check the time again. He has a 1 hour 12 on the leaderboard. He may have something faster in practice that he just hasn't submitted yet. That is really completely up to him. But yeah, in terms of what's on the leaderboard, this is PB. He can definitely get a PB if he doesn't mess up at all during this. He's pretty tight, actually, in terms of that. So yeah, 1 hour, 12 minutes, 8 seconds. So his movement... I actually don't know if he could PB, now thinking about it more. He's very close to the PB, though. So that's very good for a race. Being able to get that close to your PB is very interesting. So Newbie is not doing a birdless strat here. He's going to start it out without the birdless, and then just sneak on top of the mech, and then get flung away and jump back on. So yeah, I'm sorry, Jelledot's not gonna PB, I know that for a fact, because I know the final sequence takes about a minute as well. Even despite all that, he's still gonna do 2D skip, because why not, apparently? Like, just why not? You already had. Just do 2D skip, I'm not sure why. Okay. So now we're in the final sequence. This is looking to be about a 113, yeah. This mech is giving a lot of trouble to Newbie. He had to wait for the bird. He managed to get knocked off, so now he's just doing what he can to get back on top. And this is not an easy bird. Oh, man. This mech is not easy to get back on top of unless you hit the bombs at him. And now, okay, so now we're in the... I believe these are the last 2 pillars that he has. Or is this the last one? Yes, it's the last pillar. And now we're in the middle. And so we're very close to time. Not quite a 112, unfortunately. So 113.06. I mean, I'm not on the SRL, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I believe a 113.06 is officially what that is. The timers might be a bit off, but SRL would be telling the truth. So we can find out for sure later. Okay, so yeah. That's the end of that tournament. GG to Jelledot. We will finish up we will finish up watching Newbie's run as well. Perhaps I'll get Jelledot in here for an interview in a second while we're watching Newbie finish it up. We'll see what happens. Jelledot, you there?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? So,
Alright. Thank you.
How do you feel about that race overall?
A lot went wrong for me. I think I died at least once. Oh yeah, in Snow Kingdom. I think a lot went wrong for me, but I'm surprised I got a 113. Yesterday this would have been a PB, so...
Yeah, that is only a minute off of your PB, so that's really close.
Yeah, it went quite well.
Yeah, I was there were certain parts that actually were pretty impressive. Seeing you be able to do moon skip first try.
Yeah.
That was surprising. You barely had any setup. Like you just went right for moon skip and were able to get it no problem.
Yeah, I made sure to practice it enough. The thing I just did is made sure I was a bit on the right side of the upper platform on my first jump, and that way I know I'll always make it, so...
Okay. Also, there was the... I mean, I commented on it before, and you said in the chat that you do 2D skip every time, apparently?
Yeah, I do. It's not that hard. I did it in like all my field runs, and at that point it just became a thing that I could do consistently. So I decided to just do it every run.
Okay. I'm gonna pause here for a sec because I just want to see how well Newbie can do on this Mooncave skip.
All right.
I'm curious. Did not find the wall. Okay. So we can keep talking for a bit. So the Sand Kingdom route you did.
Yeah, it's Shaden's old route. I looked at it's like 108, and I just took his old route before he did the clip, and I think it's worked out well.
Cool. Okay, so I'm struggling to find questions here. I always do this.
It's all right.
congratulations, ultimately.
Yeah, thank you.
Just hang out with me while I watch this final sequence here.
Sure.
This is not easy to do a solo cast. Thank you.
I believe you.
Thank you for everyone watching as well. Newbie finishing this up. He's not going to be able to get the. He did not skip the jumping phase of the Bowser fight here, unfortunately. So are you aware of your next match? I'm not actually sure what you're doing next.
No, not yet. I have to schedule it after I come back from this weekend. I'm going out for the weekend and then I'll schedule it. So it probably won't be too long from now, maybe a week.
Okay. I mean, Newbie's on pace to PB at this point. He's got a 122, and it's currently about 119 at this Bowser fight. So
yeah, you can still PB.
Definitely.
I think the sequence takes like 2 to 3 minutes to escape, depending on how well you do it.
Yeah, potentially.
To answer the question in chat, I'm sure a lot of more speed ups will found over time, but it's gonna take some time before we find new stuff. Like it can be either small things or big things we find, like the clip and the new scooter thing in Metro Kingdom, which I still have to practice. But over time, and a lot of more new stuff will happen for sure.
How about this? Was there any time during the race where you felt like, where you lost confidence?
Well, I would say yes, but I didn't really. I felt like the run went quite smoothly, other than mainly the death in Snow Kingdom and some bonks here and there. I'm just really happy with how well Mecha Wiggler went, if anything.
Yeah, that was a very smooth 2-cycle there.
Yeah, I just got lucky, trust me. Usually it like goes to the top and stuff, and it's impossible to hit for some reason, and you have one orb left, and then you'll just go to the 3rd cycle.
Yeah, so unfortunately Newbie took a death in the 2D section, so I don't know if he can make a PB at this point. I think he probably realized how close he is to a PB, and it's starting to make him get nervous because of that.
Yeah.
That it's such a classic thing to happen to all speedrunners. So this could PB. It's cutting it very close. It is entirely up to his aim with the fireballs here.
It's gonna be a close one.
Yeah, his PB is a 122.30. So it's possible, but we're very close. camera's not cooperating, so you couldn't actually see the pillar. That
Yeah, I
sucked.
see it.
So that's not gonna make it. Very close to PB though.
GG.
Hey newbie.
What's up?
So good time for you.
It's pretty good. If I didn't die in the Bowser 2D section, I would have PB'd at least. Good.
Yeah, I feel like you probably just got nervous at the end, knowing how close you were to a PB.
Yeah, well, I was more just like, all right, I'm gonna try and do it faster, and then I was like, I just tried it, so whatever. How'd your run go?
It went alright, other than mainly than a death in Snow Kingdom and a lot of bonks here and there.
Ah, yeah, true. Cool. That was fun.
Yeah, good race.
Good race, good race. Hopefully, you and I will move on.
Yeah, hard to say right now.
Yeah, I gotta do some practice and learn some stuff. So yeah.
At least you both of you still have 2 matches left in this group stage, so
Yeah.
there is definitely some ground to make up that you can move on.
Yep.
It's totally possible.
Yeah. All right. I'm out.
Okay, GG, good job, guys.
GG.
See you later.
See y'all.
Okay, so we got the next match that will be for this tournament will be at 6 o'clock today. We have 2 matches going on. One will be between Tonus Ballonis and Kerbis 54, and the other one being Minato Purge versus Baga Jr. So tune in for those. I will also be back commentating for the 8 o'clock race, which will be I'll be commentating along with Mouse Cop. Thankfully, I won't have to do another solo commentary. So that'll be another race for Spike Vegeta at 8 o'clock between Spike Vegeta and Mashy. So get ready for that one. Stay tuned. That'll be a fun one. But Spike Vegeta always his audience becomes very big in the chat. So yeah. GG to both players. So there's 2 at 6 o'clock, and the Spike Vegeta one is at 8 o'clock. So, yeah. And then we also have one much later at 11 p.m. as well, which I will probably not even be awake for. We'll see what happens. Hey, so stick around. I'm sure Speed Gaming itself has some good stuff going on still. Probably some Link to the Past going on somewhere else, or some other stuff going on. Stay tuned to the schedule, speedgaming.org/schedule for that, or !schedule if you want to do that. So yeah. GG, and I'll be around. See you guys later.